There are no falsehoods in my words when I say that I absolutely adore the anime of Anne Shirley, where we have our main character by the same name, Anne Shirley, who is an orphan and just recently got adopted by both Matthew and Marilla, who the anime never specified this, but the two of them are brother and sister, and they just simply never got married, continue living in the same house. But now that they are reaching their old age and wanting a new pair of hands to help around the farm, they decided to adopt, but they wanted to adopt a boy. So they got very surprised when Anne, who is a girl, shows up in the train station. Now, Matthew grew a liking to her very quickly, but when it comes to Marilla needed a lot of convincing, and she only decided to keep her in the very last minute. But the two of them made the right choice because Anne, she is a very energetic, imaginative, have a unique and expressive way of speaking. She just a bright child that brightens up your day. And yes, but she is not perfect. She also very gets angry very easily. She's also very emotional. But hey, that's just being a child. And yes, the family dynamic that formed between the three of them throughout the episodes was very fun and developed in a very organic way. And I was very surprised when it comes to Matthew. Matthew from the beginning was a very shy and caring person. Let's say a gentle giant. So, but for him, I think it was to me it was expected him being a very kind and caring parent. But when it comes to Marilla, I was even more was very surprised by her because I thought that Marilla was going to be like a evil stepmother type of person. But no, she actually turned out to be a very stern but caring, strict but fair type of person. She actually wasn't a perfect parent from the beginning, but just like Anne learning to behave and to be a proper child, Marilla also learned to be a proper parent throughout the episodes. So the family dynamic between the three of them was very charming to watch. But what was even more charming to watch was the friendship between Anne and Diana. The two of them were just so precious and just simply wanting her to be her bosom friend and being best friends for life. And the two of them share such a beautiful friendship that it was so so sweet. It was 1 week apart from one another felt like a year for both of them, being so dramatic each time that they reunite with one another. So it was very cute. And not only with Diana, Anne did make other friends in school, and she also met another prominent character called Gilbert. Now, Gilbert made terrible first impressions because Anne learned how to hold a grudge, and she did not forgive Gilbert for a very long time. But by the end of it, the two of them managed to become friends, but it took a while for the two of them to become friends, that's for sure. And that's mostly the story. I'm not going to talk much more about it, but at the beginning I thought that the anime was going to simply cover Anne's childhood. She learning the family dynamic, going to school, making friends, going out and adventures around the small village that she lives in. And I thought that that was going to be it, but no, she we see a large a chunk of her life, from her going to school, graduating, receiving a scholarship, having a job, going to college. And I thought it was very surprising for me. Now you might be thinking, okay, the anime, the way I'm describing it, doesn't sound all that interesting, but that you will be wrong about that, because the best comparison that I can give you is, let's say, the Studio Ghibli films. Studio Ghibli, other than the animation, They're also known by the very good writing and storytelling, because you don't think about, oh, Studio Ghibli super action scenes or gut-busting comedy. No, you think about the story and writing. And Anne Shirley has that Studio Ghibli charm, because the writing is the writing is king. You don't need comedy, you don't need action, you don't need some sci-fi mystery type of twist. No, the writing was so good and so well done that it holds the anime of Anne Shirley and the Studio Ghibli films, obviously, to such a high esteem, at least for me, that I adore this anime. Now, it's obviously that this anime, the not only sorry, the franchise of Anne Shirley is holds up in high regard, not just by me but by many people, because it has been super popular for a very very long time that I did not know about. Because after I finished watching this anime, I did a little bit of digging and investigation, and I found out that the anime of Anne Shirley is actually a remake of an anime called Anne from Green Gables that came out in 1979, and that anime is 50 episodes. The anime is another adaptation of a novel that came out in 1908. Now, I'm giving you all of this information to tell you that the franchise of Anne Shirley from 1908, and from the first adaptation of the anime that came out in 1979, is still going strong to this day. Because when I was looking, I found out that pretty much each and every streaming service has a version of of Anne Shirley. We have, let's say, from Netflix, we have Anne with an E. We have Amazon Prime that has different live action movies of Anne Shirley. We have a cartoon. We have, like I said, the original anime that is 50 episodes. So yes, you can find every single each streaming service has a version of Anne Shirley or Anne from Green Gables, and you can find any of them except for some reason the original anime. The original anime that of 50 episodes is the only one that is not in any streaming service. That is very sad that is not, because I wanted to watch it legally. So I'm going to have to sell the high seas when I decide to watch it. But still, it's still going strong. And I love it because the writing is so good. Now, there's one more thing that I do want to mention before I finish this video, and I wanted to leave it in the ending on this video because it's spoilerish. But I did wanted to do an investigation because the original was 50 episodes, and the remake that it came out this year, that in 2025, only has 24 episodes. So I wanted to see if maybe if the remake now only covered half of it, and we're going to maybe have a season 2. But no, when doing the little bit of investigation, I found out that both the novel and the original anime of 50 episodes, both of them, the way that I skipped to the endings to find out how it ended, and it ended in Anne giving up her scholarship and helping out Marilla that is losing her sight, and helping her around the farm and staying home. And you might be thinking, okay, I just recently watched the anime of Anne Shirley, and that plot point happens like in episode 9 or 10, and you will be right about it. That means that everything that happens after episode 9 or 10, I forgot which episode that plot point took place, but after that episode, everything that happened later is anime original. So yes, the whole thing about Anne going to college, Diana having her baby and marrying, all of the other characters that shows up, everything later is anime original. And don't I'm I don't care. I am somebody that gets very annoyed and angry with anime original, but that's because most of the time that is done very awfully. It's not done very well done, no. But in this case, the anime original part of the anime was super well done. It fixed all the characters, it continues the story in a very very organic way. It never felt out of place. So I actually ended up very loving it. So if you want to watch The original anime of 50 episodes that covers page by page every single the novel. Then yes, if you want a faithful adaptation of the novel, watch the the original anime of 50 episodes. If you want to watch a more bigger portion of Anne's life, of her childhood to her teenage years to adulthood in her 20s, then watch the remake that came out this year, because both of them have their own unique perspective of Anne Shirley's life. And let me just say that it made so much sense, because when I was watching the anime that came out this year of Anne Shirley, I thought to myself, okay, they're skipping through her childhood very quickly, because in the first episode she's 11, in two episodes later she's 13, and after a couple, 3 episodes later she's 16. And I thought, okay, she's growing up a little bit too fast, and we were not getting a good chunk of her childhood. And it makes so much sense, because the remake that came out this year was pretty much skipping through the novel, and they wanted to just reach a certain point and then do the whole anime original part of things. But I don't mind, I don't care. I actually ended up very much enjoying it. So later on, I'm just going to simply watch the original anime and be done with it. So I want to give this anime a score of 10 out of 10. I enjoyed very much the anime. The you If you are not an anime type of person, I don't know why, but give it a chance. If not, watch the live action, watch one of the movies, watch any type of different version of Anne Shirley. And if you just want more, then either watch the original or watch the one that came out this year, because whichever version you're going to watch, you're going to enjoy it. That's for sure, because the writing is just that good. You have to go out of your way to mess up the writing, and well, that's that's current Hollywood, sadly. But I'm going to end it here. So have a good day, have a good night, wherever you're from. See you next video.